Welcome to the Nightcap. It's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and today's a very special day, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 50th anniversary of hip hop, one of my favorite genres. And because of this job, I've been lucky enough to meet some of the best personalities in the game. So let's start off with South by Southwest, where we went to the Museum of Graffiti and got a chance to talk to the chef himself, Raekwon from Wu-Tang, and one of the best eyes in the hip hop game, Danny Hastings. Check it out.
Yeah, what's up for a Nightcap? Chill, you know, kick back.
Here at South by Southwest, they have a pop-up from the Museum of Graffiti where they're celebrating the art of hip hop. If you don't know, it's the 50th anniversary since its inception, and the chef himself is in the building. I'm talking Raekwon from Wu-Tang. Let's go talk to him. Does looking at it take you back to the moments where you actually were being photographed by Danny?
Listen, it just takes me back to those days. That day. Like these are monumental pictures that will be here for the next 60, 70 years, you know? He's a dope photographer. You can tell he's charismatic. He got a dope quality about him as a photographer and as a hip hop artist. Like, you can actually see the time, like it looks like 95 right there.
Right.
That picture, oh man, it's just dope.
I mean, when you see something like this so iconic, does it take you back to that conversation that you guys were having? And actually, Danny, don't be shy, get over here.
Oh, Danny's in the building.
Y'all talked about it a little bit, but what was that like, that conversation? Like, I wanna do a Last Supper. I mean, which is a big thing. I mean, it's almost blasphemous, some would say, but it was a big deal. What was that decision like? What was that conversation like?
It was just two brothers just trying to make a mark in the culture, you know? Him being a photographer, him being so creative at what his vision was of us was so important in hip hop, because one thing about us as hip hop fans, we look at everything. We look at the pictures, we look at the clothes, we look at the style, all of that has been introduced in a way today where it's 1,000 times bigger. Mm-hmm. And hip hop is considered one of the biggest genres across the world. So you gotta remember, we was kids. You know, Danny, we was the same age. And we was just trying to be heard and seen in the greatest way. And he probably didn't know that he was gonna be so influential in the photographer world and become this big icon of photography and become this big mogul, right, as well as myself. So it just takes me back to when we first started, man.
Do you remember the conversation, Danny, when he was like, hey, we're doing the Last Supper, bada boom, bada bing.
Bada bang, bang. I remember it more than them because they've gone through a lot of different stuff. Like to me, this is my special, you know, like I remember this very vividly. And I do remember him coming up with the ideas and telling me and giving me a little bit of like the direction. And then all I needed was just a couple of like suggestions. Then I would take it from there, right? Then I'll go and produce and make the logo, do the set design and all that stuff. And then they show up, they come through, and they're like, "Whoa, what is this?" Right? So. But then I take it a little further, like the lighting, you know, the angles, the camera, the film. That was part of.
I mean, it's an iconic image.
And there was no Photoshop. There's no Photoshop on any of these, right? And then you see in this one came up. This was the first time the Wu symbol was turned into the bat signal. But if you see, this is a photograph, right? Yeah. So there's no Photoshop in 1993. You have a combination of shutter speed, slow shutter speed. That's why the candles look like that. Right. You have cross process, which was putting the chemicals on the wrong putting the films on the wrong chemicals so they could come out like that. And then you have Vaseline on the lens. So all of these
Vaseline on the lens. What that mean? I don't know that photography.
Vaseline on the lens.
You gotta school us.
Yeah. Well, you put grease on the
It's
side?
blurry. You gotta grease it to make it blurry.
All right, so we're gonna do that right here. Nah, just kidding.
This is dope.
Listen, all right, it's been 50 years of hip hop.
Yes.
Like, how does it feel for both of y'all to be such icons, have a mark In 5 decades, that's a long time to be classics, to be legends. How does that feel?
You know what? I'm still dreaming. I'm still in the dream. It's just I'm getting the opportunity to live out what I love, you know? And I think that when you love something so much, it becomes a part of you. So for us to be a part of it, to see so many kids after us, like how she said, 5 generations. We've been in 3 generations of hip hop, not
Right,
5.
30,
Yeah.
30
You know,
of them,
we
okay?
30.
1993
We 30.
is when 36 Chambers came out, okay?
We the 3 generations, we ain't the 5.
But y'all made a mark in the 5, okay?
There you go. Just being a part of it, but we live in what we love to do. You gotta passionize things that you love and make it your reality.
I want to add to that if it wasn't for hip hop, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Me too.
You know, I want to add that. So in the 50 years, like looking at it now, I'm like, wow, would I have been given a chance? Would rock and roll have given me a chance? I'm Latino and salsa was not even looking for me. You know what I mean? So like, would I have been where I'm at today? But I grew up with hip hop, right? And so in the reflecting in the growth of hip hop, I have to say that I'm very thankful for, you know, all my brothers that looked out for me and the hip hop culture that enriched me and gave me a different perspective on life. And I wouldn't be the man that I am.
All right, so when is the Drake remix on Wu-Tang Forever coming out?
Ooh.
We've been hearing about it for a while. When's this
I
happening?
mean, yo, Drake, you heard her. I mean, they looking for it, so
We're
gonna
hearing
see.
about it.
We're gonna see. And Drake is my boy, so you just threw it in the air.
All right, so your favorite verse from 36 Chambers. Hit it. Come on.
Come on! My favorite verse from 36
Come on,
Chambers.
come on. You on the spot. Lights
I
up.
would definitely say my favorite verse is probably Chess Boxing. Chess Boxing, that song, the way that beat was just rocking. And trust me, Chess Boxing, it does its thing all over the world.
Yeah.
That record right there, it does something for people all over the world.
And as far as the new talent that's coming out, right? We've talked about 5 generations. We got a new generation coming up. Who's your favorite right now? Who you watching?
You know what? I don't have a particular favorite. I just love the fact that everybody is out there expressing themselves in their music and doing it to the fullest. So I love the fact that the young generation is doing their thing now.
All right, Wu-Tang Forever.
Yes.
We're here with Raekwon, Danny
Yes.
Hastings. And before we go, I just want to point out, Dallas Cowboys, baby. I'm from Dallas, let's go! I had such a blast talking to those two. Well, you stay right there, because coming up next, as we continue our homage to hip hop, I'm gonna be talking to some sneakerheads, all right? So you stay right there, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been celebrating 50 years of hip hop by looking back at the different segments we've had here on the Nightcap all around that genre. And you can't talk about hip hop without talking about sneakers. So we kicking it back with some sneakerheads. Check it out. Am I a sneakerhead? Absolutely not. I don't know shit about it. So I brought the people who do. With me is Tasha behind her grails, Bola, a fourth of HTX Laced Up, the podcast, and we got Erica with Sneaker Summit, and the founder of Sneaker Summit. We actually got him out and on TV, Brian. Thanks for coming, y'all. Okay, do y'all like my shoes?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love Puma.
Okay. I was able to do
We love
something.
Puma. Shout out
Okay.
Lauren London.
So, sneakers is a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a culture. It's a lifestyle, right?
Yeah,
For sure.
Do you feel like anybody can be part of this lifestyle?
absolutely.
Yes.
All
Oh, Bola, hold on.
Okay, Bola's got.
It's all inclusive.
Yeah.
Is it
We are
always?
not gatekeepers. No.
There are no gatekeepers.
But it is so intimidating, I feel
Yeah.
like.
It is.
Because there's just like looking at this array of sneakers that you guys
Right.
have presented. I can't name a single one, but I guarantee you guys all can.
Just
Yeah.
What are these? Actually, you brought them, so
Yeah.
Erica, no,
Yeah.
Erica's on my
I'm
way.
the all-inclusive one.
Brian will know. OG, that's the
Puma
OG.
Clyde.
OG, what are these?
I believe those are Jay-Z Puma Clydes, maybe?
He's right.
It says Clyde right here, so I know he's right.
Yeah.
So just picking up, okay, actually, if I go to
Correct.
Sneaker Summit and I just pick out a pair of shoes that I like, I'm like, I love those in that top corner, I'm gonna dish out the money for it. And then I wear them, but I don't learn that they're low dunks or Air
Whatever
Jordans
they
or
are.
from 1975, whatever. Are there shoes from 1975?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
ma'am.
and then I walk out the door. Is that problematic because I didn't
No,
learn?
I don't think it's problematic. I mean, at Sneaker Summit, we try to offer something for everyone. And, you know, I'm from the old school, so fashion was not a checklist back then. It wasn't Sneaker of the Week. It was buy what you like and something that's going to represent yourself to the outside world. And then you get those people that gravitate towards you that have the same taste or want to know where did you get those. You know, a book by my friend Babiro Garcia that goes way back, 1975 sneaker culture.
Oh, wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I was just pulling that out of my ass,
Yeah.
but it's true. Yeah.
Yes, and I know you don't know what some of these shoes are on the table right now, but I guarantee you'll know what some of these are come late December, because we brought some of the holidays most wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're not even released yet?
Not yet.
Oh,
Some of
okay.
them.
We're going to have to get into that in a few. But for me, it's like for people who don't know much about sneaker culture and they're like, why are people spending $300, $400, $1,000 plus to wear something on their feet that's going to be hitting the ground? Why should someone do that?
There's two reasons.
Yeah.
There's hype, and then there's people who actually like what they like.
Erica, you're about to say something.
I feel like that is why Sneaker Summit, which we're actually having the other one December 11th, right?
Yeah, there's some real
That is why it's important to go to those, because those are all-inclusive events where you can learn. So say I'm friends with Bola, but I don't really know about shoes. And then he's just like, no, just come up there with me. But that's a great opportunity to actually see what the sneaker community is about.
I think that also Bola's correct. I think also though there's a lot of people that may have not been able to afford it when they were younger, when the shoe came out, and now we're older, we have jobs, and so we can afford it. So we might have not been able to get it back then, and now we can. I think also, just like anything, right? A Birkin bag. Everything has a price,
Yes.
and everything
Flex for
has
ourselves.
the, like you said, the hype. And are you willing to pay that price?
Yeah.
So
I mean, is it worth it though?
for somebody
For
that is a Birkin,
Right.
It's like a flex to yourself.
Right.
Like she says sometimes, like, this is for my inner child. Like, I did it, girl. I did it.
I think that's why I'm so big on retros. 'Cause
Yeah.
some of the, you know, those are shoes that you wanted back in the day.
And you
Some of-
couldn't.
so you
Mama
couldn't
was
get-
not
hey,
going
you
to
get
give you nothing.
no,
First day of
ma'am.
school shoes and maybe some Christmas
That's
shoes.
it.
Right.
That's it.
So some of these shoes came out in the interim, and you weren't able to get them.
Yep.
So now that they're retro and back, I think that kind of
nostalgia.
the nostalgia kind of relates to me, and that's why I
Right.
get a lot of the things that I do.
Listen, I still need to get my sneaker game up. Not gonna lie, not gonna lie. All right, well, coming up next, graffiti is one of the pillars of hip hop. So we had some street artists come on the show. So you have to stay tuned for that. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been celebrating 50 years of hip hop, which I love and adore. We've talked to Raekwon, Danny Hastings, sneakerheads, and now it's time to talk to some street artists, because you can't talk hip hop without graffiti. Check it out. And I'm here with some street artists. We've got Tarbox, we've got Black, Mendoza, and Clear. Now you hear all the time, street art is considered vandalism by a lot of people. What are your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, with vandalism, if you're doing it illegally, it is vandalism, but I don't know anybody who does illegal work that minds being called a vandal. We wear it proudly on our
You
chest.
guys wear it proudly.
Yeah.
Y'all don't mind being called vandals.
Yeah.
No. So what exactly is street art?
Art on the street.
Art on the street.
So anything
Well,
you-
I think there should be a discussion about what the distinction is between graffiti,
Okay.
which is illegal work, and street art, muralists' work, I guess. I feel like maybe the lines start to get a little blurred by the public, because they're both kind of two different things. I would say that personally, though, I wouldn't call myself a graffiti artist or a vandal, because I don't participate in illegal work. I get commissioned to do paid work and legal work.
I'm in the same boat with Black. I mean, I did dabble in like the illegal part, you know, graph, like when I was young. But now it's just the culture's a lot different, you know. So it's just more so I get commissioned, you know, for more work that, hey, we like this, and also too. I mean, there's also another legal side to it, but I mean, I operate more so like in the street art industry and all that stuff. So I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, so this is a world that I am completely unfamiliar with other than seeing it and experiencing it when I'm driving or walking through streets. So graffiti is different from street art. Is that what I'm hearing? And this is, and graffiti is more illegal?
Yeah, typically. I mean, I have a similar background where I did some illegal work when I was younger, but you know, that doesn't pay the bills. So if you're gonna, I mean, if you have the privilege to be able to do all of that as a hobby and not your main job, then you can continue to do that. But if it's kind of what you're striving for to do as a job, then like there's diminishing returns for illegal work, right? Unless it's commodified and then turned into like a Banksy that was cut out of a wall and sold, which happens now, but for the most part.
But that's rare.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different perspectives and tastes in graffiti. Like there is more graffiti becoming commoditized and more popular in different areas, but for the most part, I think street art is more commercialized, more brand friendly in a lot of aspects, so it
So
sells
that's
more.
better. So, but did all of you start doing illegal?
Yeah.
Is that
I think all of us had some sort of illegal moment that happened within our journey. And then, I mean, going back to like the difference between like graffiti and street art, like you have graffiti, which started with hip hop. You know what I mean? We had this conversation earlier where like you have graffiti is a style, it's a culture, it's a movement, and then it just slowly evolves and you get all these subgenres within graffiti that kind of manifest into these beautiful things. And then now we have a lot of people who can be very successful in capitalizing on it. So a lot of the lines do get blurred, and that comes from what the public applies to it who don't know the culture, but everybody within the culture, I mean, we all know it as subgenres, and we know that there's a clear distinction between those who go out and bomb and get up than those who are getting out and being paid, and those people can be the same person. Like I know active writers who go out and they get up and then they can turn around and do a mural for a business and get paid thousands. Like
when you say bomb and get up, what are you saying there?
Bombing is a graffiti vocabulary word. It just means going out and painting your name or your moniker on the street.
Oh, I feel like that's how it all started, right? Like people just writing their names.
Yeah.
And so eventually, did you all start by tagging names?
I
Like
did.
would I have found a Mendoza or a Black out just walking?
You would have found different names, but
Different names.
Yeah, okay. Okay, you don't go by the illegal names anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to ask y'all to divulge. We want
Years
to keep
ago,
them,
years
you know, I don't know what the statute of limitations is, so we ain't going to get y'all in trouble. Woo, they are some talented artists. All right, well, coming up next, I got to go behind the bar, right? And we've been at Reset in Midtown Houston, so stay right there to see me shake it up. Welcome back to the Nightcap. We've been celebrating hip hop on its 50th anniversary, but you know, it's the Nightcap. So I had to come behind the bar here at Reset with the GM, Andrew Gralla, and you are gonna do what? Back that glass up!
Calm down, let's go.
Okay, all right, so obviously you gotta use cognac.
That's it.
I mean, it's the only way. So what are you shaking up?
Well, we start with a brand. You know why?
Why?
Because that's what hip hop's all about, baby. We gotta have a brand, you know? We're gonna, we don't take shortcuts here. There's no half stepping, so we start with 2 ounces of our Hennessy VSOP. Nothing but the best, Grand Marnier. So a little French cognac love.
I love it. And cognac is such a big deal in the hip hop community because, I mean, it's Black culture. We can't deny that. And Hennessy was the first brand to advertise on Jet magazine. We know what Jet means to Black culture. So, people love it.
But also, you forgot about my boy Nasty Nas, Escobar. Let's go.
Okay, and this white boy here, don't let his skin tone fool you. He loves us.
And don't let this young lady fool you. I don't see color, I see character, so we just keep it moving.
Okay. He said it.
That was just me ringing in the door.
All right, what is it? What is it?
So
oh, it's beautiful.
This is a sidecar. So typically I would put sugar on the rim, but it's just sweet enough, and that's why you're looking at it. So we are gonna finish it off with a very nice orange zest. You know what sugar on the rim does?
What does it do?
It just allows people to know that they should just be purists.
Okay, I'm gonna slide in and try it though.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Más, por favor.
Let's go.
Wow, run it back. This is amazing. All right, so Reset. Tell us a little bit about it. What can people experience when they come here?
Okay, so this lovely venue is a one-on-one venue that overlooks the entire city of Houston. If you see this view, often imitated, never duplicated. So what we do here is
He's dropping them.
we absolutely do a number of different things very well. We have
Drinks?
a really nice wine program, not a wine bar. We have a really nice cocktail program, not a cocktail bar. We have a really nice collection of liquor, and we have a very small footprint. So effectively, individually, we are a very small footprint with a high yield. And so if I got one wish, I wish you would. What's up? Here we go.
Okay, if y'all didn't catch all of those song drops he just dropped, I need you to run it back, okay? Just rewind on that DVR or that YouTube, wherever you watching us, okay?
Salud.
Listen, cheers to you. Cheers to you at home.
Hey.
Long live hip hop, baby. I used to love it.
Calm down, let's go. Okay.